Hello, this is John Diaz here, overlooking the Blue Knob summit. Looks pretty neat. It's got ice on top of the trees at the very top. Look at all the snow, guys. As you can see, guys, right there is about a foot of snow. Imagine when all that snow, when it gets warmer and it all melts. That's a lot of water. Give you guys another beautiful view of this. The purpose of this video is to talk about what I've talked about all along: job creation, protecting the nation from losses and loss of life when it comes to water management. Right now, unfortunately, I wish I didn't have to talk about this, but what we're seeing going on in Los Angeles, California, is something that could have been prevented. This has been talked about in previous videos, specifically during the time that I was running as an independent candidate. And it has to do with how to take on problems like that and solve them. And these problems exist all over the country and all over the world. And it's an opportunity for the United States to take a stock of this issue and become the global leader when it comes to water. And so we ask ourselves, well, how could this catastrophe be, how could it have been prevented? Well, it's a huge undertaking, what I've talked about in the past, but if it prevents loss of life and loss of property, and I mean, look at what's happened right now. They say that about 10,000 structures have been destroyed, but that's one problem. Look at the loss of life. I mean, right now they've said that there's 10 people dead, and I'm sure that figure is way higher, and it's climbing as we speak. We're talking here about the destruction of property, destruction of nature, destruction of animals, and so on, and the destruction of people. Their lives are being ruined. I believe that a lot of the answers are in front of us. We just have to figure it out. And I've talked about this before in the past regarding water management. There's a lot of places throughout the country, throughout the world that are, people are having floods. where we go and extract that water, bring it, purify it, whether it's nationally or internationally. So, in a sense, we're helping people reduce the water by drawing water out, pumping it in ships, bringing it here, purifying it, and then sending it wherever water is needed, which in this case is the west part of the country and many parts. Look at what's happened in the last couple years in Colorado, even parts of Florida, all along California, and many other places. There's been fires in many parts of the country, and it causes destruction. It ruins people's lives. And then we have to look at, why is America in financial issues? Well, every time issues like this happens, whether it's hurricanes or any natural disaster, the insurance companies draws out billions of dollars. Insurance companies collapse. So the only thing that we can do to prevent this is doing preventive measures. And in this case, it would be something new on the horizon that would create millions and millions of new jobs that don't exist at the moment. Imagine if somebody could say to us that there would be a job creation that didn't exist, that would create millions and millions of new jobs in America that don't exist at the moment. What would everybody say to that? Well, there is that possibility with forestry management in the United States and water management. So the idea is basically take water where it's high and take it where it's low, to use it and put people to water the land. Whether it's manually watering the land or using aerial assets to water, irrigate from above. Especially state land where there's mountains and trees, you use the assets and water from above. And you create an irrigation pattern, just like irrigating a lawn. You create a schedule and you stick by it. And imagine the possibility of greening up arid, dry soils that grow nothing but erosion. Imagine you're changing the landscapes. And so that's the idea. You're putting millions of people to irrigate a whole new sector. So as you guys know from all the videos I've made, sometimes they're videos for fun, sometimes they're videos for job creation, but a lot of the emphasis on the videos I've made have been job creation, just simply inventing jobs that don't exist at the moment. Imagine there's an oversupply of people in the United States, the so-called illegals. The first step is make the whole system legal, as they're going to do, and then bring in people legally and create jobs for them while sustaining capitalism abroad. But also here in America, using our people here in the United States of America to manage all these sectors of forestry management, cleaning up the forests. If you look back at the videos I made in the past, just right here looking at this wooded area, you see that piece of timber laying sideways? That's a piece of tree that fell. And then right near there, there's a tree that's dead that could be cut down. So that's just an example of tree management, forestry management. There's so many trees. Look at that stump right there that's like 5 feet tall, where a part of it fell off. And then another piece right nearby, all that could be sawed down, all the trees that are fallen in the woods, all the leaning trees, all the fallen trees, all the brush. There's so much work to be done, and it just takes these ideas to take stock, to employ a whole lot of people to do this. But the watering system, it's something that needs to be talked about, devising a plan. And well, one immediate plan is to irrigate the land to prevent the fire from ever taking place to begin with. And irrigation is something that needs to be managed, because you can't irrigate too much, but then at the same time, you know, in some places you have to irrigate a lot, and then in other places you can't irrigate maybe at all or very little. So all of that has to be managed, but there's so many places that have an oversupply of water. And so you take that water and move it to the areas that need the water. And if you think about it, it would also help the trucking sector, all the people that try to obtain CDLs every year with the tanker endorsement. Now, in this case, it would be tankers for water. So they pump out the water from places that are high, take it to the places that are low, treat the water, clean it up, and then use it for national irrigation to prevent these horrific problems that we're seeing right now in Los Angeles year after year after year. People dying, property lost, and people's lives turned upside down. Not to mention the natural point of view with the animals that die in the whole process. So as I showed you right now, all that snow, and if you guys have watched the videos in the past that I've made, it started out cold, snowing, but then it warmed up and all that snow melted, like over a foot worth of snow. And then all the streams were high and the water was running fast. And then it calmed down a bit, and then we got another Arctic blast that's created all of this. And this is supposed to last well into weeks or months because we're in winter. So logically, this place will get more and more snow. And then at some point, the transition will happen. It'll start melting the way it's supposed to, and there'll be a lot of water. It'll all go to the river and out to sea. So imagine we've got a chance to collect fresh water in the process. You could have tractor trailers pumping water, designate 10, 20, 30,000 trucks across America pumping water and sending that water, or even create a national pipeline like I've talked about before. If we move oil, we can surely move water. What's important here is we got to figure it out before we keep seeing this year after year and without solutions. Now, thank God there's assets like helicopters and airplanes that drop retardants and water to try to suppress the fires, but unfortunately, that's not enough. But if we put millions of people to irrigate working with those assets, it can be done and it can be prevented. So that's the topic of this video, because when you see the destruction being done at the moment in California, it makes me do something about it by making this video for all of you guys to watch and to talk about and to let people see this. And maybe someone in the government level will talk about this video or talk about the issues that I've talked about. And it's important. So that's what I'm doing here, is giving the ideas to find solutions to the problems. Now keep in mind that the water being high and the water being low nationally is a situation that fluctuates. Sometimes the place that could be low suddenly, like in California, it's a known fact that after there's fires and there's erosion, that after comes the heavy rains, which causes mudslides and so forth. So there'll be times when it's low, then there'll be times when it's high. So the idea is to capture the water in low places and take it to the places that are, or the places that are high, take that water to the places that are low. And vice versa. If a place gets high, take that, extract the water, take it to the place that's low. One quick way to do it would be a national pipeline. But another way, since there isn't that, would just be manually using trucking. You take the water to the treatment plants where the water's low, you let them process the water and clean it up, and then you just keep doing that by the tens of thousands of trucks. I mean, I'm just a lucky guess assuming that one semi-tanker could probably haul 10,000 gallons. I'm just throwing that figure out there, more or less. 10,000 gallons, you multiply that by 20,000 trucks, 30,000 trucks, 50,000 trucks, however severe the problem is. And then you calculate that and you multiply that by either working around the clock, which would maybe be, let's say, one truck a day. Let's say one semi could deliver that load in one day, where other trucks might get 2 loads a day, depending if they're closer and depending how their water level is. We have all these people that can come from all over the world once the border's secure and they come in legally. They can come to irrigate and help America, because the people who come here to work are also helping America in one sense or another. They're coming here helping us do work such as farming, landscaping, construction, and whatever else jobs they do. Restaurant industry. Well, it'll be a good thing when it's legal, because at least we'll know who's here and who's here legally. And that's important to know to keep a country safe. So anyhow, this has been a 19-minute video now, and I think I'll stop it here. But I'm pointing this out again because of the fires that are going on right now, and God bless those people out there fighting the fire, the people that are enduring all these heartaches and loss of properties and loss of family members. May God be with them all. And I'll end the video there, and I hope everyone looks at all the other videos and subscribes to the channel to hear daily upcoming content, or as quick as I can get it to you guys. And I appreciate the people that watch this channel, and I appreciate the newcomers watching. Thank you for that. Thank you for your support. Thank you for subscribing, and I hope you guys subscribe if you enjoy this. Conversations that we need to have, guys. All this is very important to find solutions to the problems. Please push the like button if you enjoyed this. And again, thank you for watching, and please enjoy the rest of your day. Bye-bye.